On the news, 2 police officers killed in gun duel with Lakurawa bandits in Kebbi State. 9 killed, 4 injured in Jigawa communal clash. And Governor Zulum subsidizes petrol to 600 naira per litre for farmers. It's glad to have you join us on the news on TV360 Nigeria. I'm Tamilore Akinkolye. 2 police officers lost their lives in a gun battle with Lakurawa bandits in Kebbi State. The incident occurred during a security operation aimed at dislodging the armed group responsible for attacks on local communities. Police spokesperson DSP Nafiu Abubakar confirmed the loss, adding that reinforcement had been deployed to secure the area and pursue the fleeing bandits. He noted that the officers bravely exemplified their dedication of law enforcement in safeguarding lives and property. The Kebbi State government has extended condolence to the families of the fallen officers and pledged to intensify effort to combat banditry. Residents are urged to remain vigilant and cooperate with security agencies to ensure peace and stability in the state. Meanwhile, in Jigawa State, at least 9 people were killed and 4 injured following a communal clash in the Gori local government area of the state. The violent confrontation occurred on Friday between 2 neighboring communities over farmland dispute, escalating in a deadly conflict. Police spokesperson DSP Lawan Sisu Adam confirmed the incident, saying that officers had been deployed to restore order and prevent further escalation. He added that the injured were receiving medical treatment while investigations are ongoing to identify the perpetrators and resolve the dispute. Still on security, the Rivers State Police Command has witnessed a leadership change as Commissioner of Police Nwoye Adepoju officially took over from his predecessor, CP Mustafa Mohammed Dandora, on Friday. Now, during the handover ceremony in Port Harcourt, the outgoing CP commended officers for their dedication and urged them to extend the same support to the incoming Commissioner. CP Adepoju, in his inaugural address, emphasized his commitment to enhancing security across the state, focusing on combating violent crimes, reducing court-related activities, and ensuring the safety of residents. He called for community cooperation and assured that under his leadership, the police would prioritize professionalism and respect for human rights.
I heartily welcome you to this press briefing, my first official outing as the Commissioner of Police, Rivers State Command. I must commend the members of the press for the vital role you play in the society. Your tireless efforts in providing adequate, timely, and balanced information help to shape public opinion and guide the actions of both the public and law enforcement. I'm aware of your glowing, impressive work in covering our activities, and as we embark on this journey together again, I urge you to continue to work with us, to hold us accountable, and to share with us the concerns and expectations of the people that we serve. We are committed to transparency and welcome constructive criticism. A society thrives when there is trust between the institution and its people.
Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed his commitment to creating a brighter future for Nigerians, emphasizing his administration's focus on economic reforms, youth empowerment, and national security. Speaking on Saturday, Tinubu highlighted his vision for a prosperous Nigeria, driven by innovation, inclusivity, and resilience. The president outlined ongoing efforts to improve infrastructure, create jobs, and foster an enabling environment for businesses to thrive. He also acknowledged the challenges facing the nation, but expressed optimism that his administration's policies would yield long-term benefit for citizens. He called on Nigerians to remain united and patient as his government implements transformative policies. And the Nigerian government has announced plans to establish a national credit guarantee company by May 2025 as part of its efforts to support businesses and individuals with improved access to credit. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu disclosed this in his New Year's address on Wednesday, describing the initiative as a critical component of his administration's economic reforms. The company will collaborate with institutions such as the Bank of Industry, Nigeria Consumer Credit Corporation, Nigeria Sovereign Investment Agency, and Ministry of Finance Incorporated. Meanwhile, financial experts have reacted positively to the plan, with Analyst Olujede commending the initiative for addressing challenges faced by businesses due to high interest rates.
From an intervention perspective, it's a welcome idea because when you look at the market today, because of the very high interest rate, it has become very difficult for a lot of businesses and entrepreneurs to be able to access loans in the market. Some loans are being priced as high as 40%. So when you are in a kind of a situation like that, an intervention could help a great deal to ensure that we can channel resources to areas of the economy that will help us to get out of the woods very fast. Otherwise, if we leave all these sectors to the forces of demand and supply, they will be stifled of funds, and we will also be stifled of the benefit that they can bring to the table for us as a country. So it's a welcome idea from an intervention perspective.
Meanwhile, Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum has approved a subsidy that lowers the cost of petrol to 600 naira per litre for farmers in communities affected by insurgency. The initiative launched on Saturday aims to support agricultural activities and ease the economic burdens in farmers facing the dual challenges of insecurity and rising fuel costs. Governor Zulum said that the subsidy reflects his administration's commitment to revitalizing agriculture as a key driver of economic recovery in the region. He added that farmers are vital to the state development and assured that more measures would be implemented to support them. Beneficiaries have expressed gratitude for the intervention, highlighting its potential to reduce production costs and improve food security. The governor also appealed for continued cooperation from farmers and stakeholders to sustain efforts towards rebuilding the state. Meanwhile, in Rivers State, the governor Siminalayi Fubara has signed the 1.88 trillion naira 2025 budget into law just 48 hours after his presentation to the State Assembly. Speaking at the signing ceremony, Governor Fubara reiterated his administration's commitment to rapid economic growth, infrastructural development, and effective service delivery. He described the swift approval as a testament to the harmonious relationship between the executive and legislative arm of government. He also assured residents of prudent management and timely execution of projects to meet the state's developmental goals.
I want to say this, maybe for some persons somewhere who are still mixing up issues. We have only one assembly, and that assembly is headed by Right the Honorable Victor Okujo. A group of friends, they embarked on what they call Simba's journey. Halfway the vessel, while they were coasting, they now realized that they were entering inside the den of devil and sharks. They now retrieved. It is too late. It is too late. And the truth about it, we're not going back. We've given them enough room. As it stands now, our major target is the interest of Rivers State and to continue to defend the integrity of governance. So as long as I'm concerned, we have moved on. Let me thank everyone who has made this very possible. We made a promise to you that we'll continue to keep the interest of Rivers first. So now that this bill has been signed, I can assure you that every projection in it, we will make sure that we kickstart it.
Meanwhile, political affairs analysts have condemned Governor Siminalayi Fubara for presenting the 2025 budget to only a faction of the State House of Assembly. Speaking on TV 360 flagship program Digi 360, the analysts argued that Governor Fubara's action contravened constitutional provisions, which mandates the recognition of the entire Assembly, not selected factions. They expressed concerns that the governor's decision set a dangerous precedent and risks undermining the integrity of the legislative process. The analysts also want that the ongoing political feud between Governor Fubara and his predecessor, Nyesom Wike, could have severe consequences for governance and development in the state if not resolved promptly.
I want to believe there was a kind of a legal interpretation at the point in time that the governor erred in law by operating a budget that was approved by just 3 people. And that was the reason why the federal government suspended allocation to the state. At what point was the judgment clear to such an extent that it will represent the budget to only 3 House of members, 3 House of Assembly members? I think it is an aberration. It defies logic, and it doesn't really make sense. So I don't understand. I think it is better if our democracy is saved from being laughed at by other committee of nations, that 3 people approve trillion of naira in budget for a state. This is unheard of. It defies logic. I don't even know what other adjective to qualify it. And I think it is high time our legal luminaries came into this so that we can have sanity in our polity and in River State especially.
For me, it's an impeachable offense. Let the Martin Ameule members even start the process of impeaching the River State governor. The heavens will not fall. I agree that Wike has beaten more than he can chew. Wike has consistently been a pain in the neck of Siminalayi Fubara with his leg, with his foot on his neck consistently, you know. But then that does not mean we should also encourage, you know, the illegality perpetrated by Siminalayi Fubara in River State. It is not done. You can't say, okay, what do you expect the governor to do? There should be a meeting point. What I expect the governor to do is to follow the law as laid down by the ground norm, which is the constitution. You present the budget before the House of Assembly. And who is the House of Assembly? The House of Assembly led by, as stated by the court, the House of Assembly led by Martin Ameule. And until the court of the land hold that they are no longer members of a State House of Assembly, haven't defected from their party by virtue of Section 109, they remain member of the State House of Assembly. It is not in the governor to say, look, I will not recognize them, or they are no longer members and his law, his words should be law. This words cannot be law.
We'll go on a short break here, but still to come, Ghana's President ADC collapses at Parliament. Details of the story right after this break. Welcome back. Now, a quick recap of our top stories. 2 police officers were killed during a gunfight with Lakurawa bandits in Kebbi State. The officers were part of a team deployed to counter escalating banditry in the region. While details of the operation remain sparse, authorities have pledged to intensify efforts to combat insecurity and bring the perpetrators to justice. We also told you that Governor Babagana Zulum of Borno State has introduced the subsidy program reducing petrol prices to 600 naira per litre for farmers in insurgency-affected areas. The initiative aims to alleviate the financial burden on farmers, boost agricultural activities, and support the rebuilding of communities impacted by insurgency. Now, in case you missed any of the news bulletin or for more updates, you can catch us on Live Sport TV and ABO TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery, and Apple Store. On Facebook, we are TV360 Online. And on business, as Nigeria continues to grapple with economic challenges, experts have called on President Bola Tinubu to focus on harnessing the country's untapped resources to achieve his administration's ambitious economic goals. With high inflation and interest rates limiting access to credit for businesses, stakeholders emphasize the importance of leveraging natural assets and implementing strategic reforms. Financial analyst Bola Olojede highlighted the need to prioritize the newly discovered lithium reserves, which are essential for the production of electric vehicles and other advanced technologies. He noted that tapping into these resources could significantly boost Nigeria's industrial growth and position the country as a key player in global energy market. On inflation, Olojede expressed doubt about the administration's ability to bring the rate down to 15% as projected in the 2025 budget, citing persistent structural issues in the economy.
We've been told we have lithium in commercial quantities in Nigeria. And lithium is a very strategic natural resource, especially now that fossil fuel is having major challenges. It is the future of vehicles. If the future of vehicles is right at our backyard, I am expecting that we will have maybe it's a 20-year plan or a 10-year plan, something long-term, showing how we intend to make the best of these natural deposits that have been found at our backyard. Very critical. Number two, I will expect him to help us make the best of our oil and gas resources. The North was also in that space at a professional level for many years of his career. So oil is there. We need to make the best of it while it still has value. Apart from oil, we are a gas nation, and gas has been identified as the energy of transition. How do we make the best of these resources while it is still here? We have started on a good note with the domestic refining that is in the place, with the CNG initiative that we are pursuing. Some pipeline issues are also in that, are also being discussed. We need to just rev up our actions in all this space and let it begin to count for the people as soon as possible. I am not convinced that we can do 15%. I have no conviction about that. I would have been more comfortable if it was something like early 20s. We were saying, let's target 20-something, 22, 21, 23%, all those early 20s. I might say, okay, it is possible. So if we shoot for a minimum of an average of 1% reduction every month, that would be 12 minus 34. So maybe we'll end up at about 22 if we're able to. That sounds more realistic if we do all the right things. 15% is ambitious. I'm not saying it's not impossible. I'm just not convinced that we can do 15% this year.
And the ongoing controversy surrounding the Nigerian government tax reform bills continues to dominate national discourse, while governors and other stakeholders oppose the reforms, citing concerns over revenue centralization and implementation. President Bola Tinubu insists the measures are essential for economic recovery and equity. Despite the resistance, Tinubu has remained firm, saying that the reforms will address fiscal inefficiencies and ensure a fairer distribution of the tax burden. In a related development, Labour Party presidential candidate candidate Peter Obi has also weighed in on the issue, expressing skepticism about the effectiveness of the tax reforms. Speaking during an interview, Obi criticized the Nigerian government's approach, arguing that the current tax policies disproportionately burden citizens and businesses without addressing systematic inefficiencies in governance. Obi further called on the government to focus on building trust with the public by ensuring transparency in revenue generation and allocation.
On issue of tax, there's a lot of stories. I've said it, everybody knows my stand on it. There should be very wide and detailed consultation. It should be widely and publicly debated. Government have consistently maintained that our tax to GDP, tax to this is very low. You've seen it every day. And I said it's wrong. Tax is a function of productivity. The country is unproductive. So are you going to tax 100 million Nigerians that are living in extreme poverty? Are you going to tax those people I saw in IDP camps yesterday? Are you going to tax the factories that are shut down in Kano? Go to Bompai, go to Shadan 1, Shadan 2. Where are you going to tax? Tax is a function of productivity. When the country is productive, people are gainfully employed, then you can tax them. And we can generate more tax. What we need now is to reflect the country, make it productive, and then we can talk about generating more revenue. Let me assure you, what is on the table now is that everybody who means well should come together to get the country to work. There's a lot of, call it, lies. There's a lot of propaganda. There's a lot of, trying to, bamboozle the people going on here and there, which has to stop. Let's build this country.
And on the global scene, a dramatic moment unfolded on the floor of the Ghanaian Parliament on Friday when Colin Isaac Amfosa, the aide-de-camp to President Nana Akufo-Addo, collapsed during the president's final State of the Nation's address. The incident occurred shortly after the president began his speech, highlighting his administration's achievements in the last 8 years. Amfosa was standing guard in the chamber when he suddenly lost consciousness and collapsed. After receiving first aid, Amfosa was transported to a nearby medical facility for further evaluation. Visibly alarmed by the situation, Akufo-Addo paused his address briefly to ensure his ADC received urgent care before resuming his speech. And investigators on Saturday expect to compile the complete transcript from the cockpit voice recorder recovered from the wreckage of the Jeju Air Boeing 737-800 that crashed on Sunday in South Korea, the Transport Ministry said in a statement. The ministry said investigators have recovered one of the plane's 2 engines and plan to retrieve the other on Saturday. They also aim to study the plane's tail and landing gear at the crash scene. The ministry, which is conducting checks on all of the Boeing planes operated by Korean Airlines, plans to require immediate corrective measures if problems are found. And finally, on sports, Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola says he is responsible for his side's underwhelming form this season, in which they have won just 2 of their last 10 Premier League games. The run of poor form has left the reigning champions 6th in the standing with 31 points from 19 matches, 14 fewer than leaders Liverpool, who have a game in hand. City's campaign has been hindered by a rash of injuries, with Ballon d'Or winner Rodri, goalkeeper Edison, as well as defenders John Stones and Ruben Dias among those sidelines. And Naomi Osaka defeated Alicia Parks in straight set at the ASB Classic in New Zealand to reach her first WTA finals since 2022 and since her return to tennis last year after the birth of her first child. The four-time Grand Slam champions defeated Parks to advance to Sunday's finals, where she will face Denmark Clara Tauson. Osaka was playing in her first semi-final since the 2022 Miami Open, where she defeated Belinda Bencic before losing to Iga Swiatek in the championship match. She'll be attempting to win her first title since the 2021 Australian Open. And that wraps up our bulletin on news now. Many thanks for watching. I'm Tamilore Akinkwole. See you again next time.